Matthew 14 verses 22 to 34. Verse 22. Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. Verse 23. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone. Verse 24. The boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves, because the wind was against it. Verse 25. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. Verse 26. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. They said, "It is a ghost," and cried out in fear. Verse 27. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid." Verse 28. "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." Verse 29. "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. Verse 30. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Verse 31. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" Verse 32. And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Verse 33. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." Verse 34. When they had crossed over, they landed at Gennesaret. Mark 6 verses 47 to 51. Verse 47. When evening came, the boat was in the middle of the lake, and Jesus was alone on land. Verse 48. He saw the disciples straining at the oars, because the wind was against them. Shortly before dawn, he went out to them, walking on the lake. Verse 49. When they saw him walking on the lake, they thought he was a ghost. They cried out. Verse 50. Because they all saw him and were terrified. Immediately he spoke to them and said, "Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid." Verse 51. Then he climbed into the boat with them, and the wind died down. John 6 verses 18 to 21. Verse 18. The sea arose, by reason of a great wind that blew. Verse 19. So when they had rowed about 25 or 30 furlongs, they see Jesus walking on the sea, and drawing nigh unto the ship, and they were afraid. Verse 20. But he saith unto them, "It is I. Be not afraid." Verse 21. Then they willingly received him into the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land, whither they went. Psalm 65 verse 7. Who stilled the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, and the turmoil of the nations. Psalm 77 verse 16. The waters saw you, O God. The waters saw you and writhed. The very depths were convulsed. Psalm 77 verse 19. Your path led through the sea, your way through the mighty waters, though your footprints were not seen. Job 38 verse 11. This far you may come and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. Job 9 verse 8. He alone stretches out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea. Psalm 93 verse 4. Mightier than the thunder of the great waters, mightier than the breakers of the sea. The Lord on high is mighty. Isaiah 51 verse 10. Was it not you who dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep, who made a road in the depths of the sea, so that the redeemed might cross over? Isaiah 43 verse 2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. Psalm 29 verses 3 to 4. Verse 3. The voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord over many waters. Verse 4. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. Psalm 107 verse 29. He made the storm be still, and the waves of the sea were hushed. Psalm 89 verse 9. You rule the raging of the sea. When the waves rise, you still them. Psalm 104 verse 7. At your rebuke they fled. At the sound of your thunder they took to flight. Isaiah 43 verse 16. Thus says the Lord, who makes a way in the sea, and a path through the mighty waters. Exodus 14 verse 21. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind all night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. Exodus 14 verse 22. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea, upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them, on their right hand and on their left. Exodus 14, verse 27. And the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. Exodus 14, verse 31. And Israel saw that great work, which the Lord did in Egypt. And the people feared the Lord, and believed the Lord, and his servant Moses. This concludes the Bible verses. The waters were under his command. The storm could not stand against him. Fear gave way to faith. The night passed, but trust in God remained.